Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Julie from Totally Holistic Health, and this is a lovely, nice, cooling yoga practice for a really hot day. It's just a case of really trying to sort of just take things as slow as you can. It sort of can be quite strong, but obviously just being mindful of, obviously we don't want to build too much heat into the body, because at the moment it's very, very hot at the moment anyway. So we just want to sort of try to be as cooling as we can, but actually still get the main benefits of this practice. So just take a few moments to get settled. If you haven't got a bolster, that's fine. You can settle yourself down on your mat. If you do need to put a little bit of height underneath your bottom, which will actually help you come into a more upright position, maybe use a couple of books and a blanket to cover them over with to make it a bit more comfortable. So just imagine you've got a lovely thread, just pulling that spine nice and long, maybe closing those eyes down. A couple of moments just to land, just become aware of the sensations of your body against the surface beneath you. Maybe giving your body a bit of a scan, just becoming aware of any tension or any sensations you can feel. Finally bringing your awareness to your breath. And just have that conscious awareness of the breath moving in and out. Maybe notice where you're noticing that breath. Is it from the belly? Is it from the chest, the nostrils, the mouth, if you're breathing through the mouth? Wherever it is, just keep that awareness there. Just try to allow your mind to become quiet. I invite you now just to connect your fingers to the earth beside you. Take a nice deep breath in. Let's bring the arms above our head in prayer. Hands down, just resting the thumb on the breastbone. Allow the head to drop down towards those fingertips. So allow the shoulders to drop down the back. Maybe bringing the hands down, resting them on the tops of your thighs, keeping the chin down towards your chest. You can maybe open the eyes now if that feels okay. And we're going to just roll the right ear over to the right shoulder, so you've got a little stretch on the left side of your neck. Just be mindful of how that feels on the left side. Just make sure the shoulders really stay nicely down your back. Just keeping the breath steady. Let's roll that chin all the way down towards your chest. Same again. Left ear over to the left shoulder. And again, just notice any changes one side to the other. Notice any extra pulling or senses of release. Try not to overstretch anything. And then let's bring that chin all the way down. And then finally, let's bring the head back up. Okay, so we're going to release our shoulders. So we're going to bring the arms into cactus arms. So bring the elbows level with your shoulders, palms facing, or the hands facing up towards the ceiling. Fingertips facing up towards the ceiling. Now if you can, maybe see if you can draw those elbows further back, just to bring the shoulder blades together. This is really good if you're stuck at a desk all day, because it's really nice to get all the muscles around the pecs, the front of the chest nicely stretched out. And what we're going to bring the forearms together, and we're going to just bring the elbows in towards your belly, so curving the spine. So bring the forearms together, the fingertips. Just curve the head down towards those thumbs. Got a lovely stretch in the shoulders. So straightening back up, just bring those elbows nice and wide again. So you can draw the shoulders back even more. Draw them back together again, forearms, hands together, draw the elbows in towards your belly, curving your spine. Really enjoying that lovely sensation of stretches in the back of the shoulders. Let's bring those arms back up, separating those elbows. back into cactus arms. Okay, so we're going to come into eagle arms now. So with eagle arms, some people feel as if their arms are not too long enough, which can make it feel that way. But there are options. So we're going to bring your elbows together. We're going to bring your right arm underneath your left arm. So the backs of your forearms to come together. And if you find you can't get your elbows in those creases, what you can do is just give yourself a nice big hug, which is absolutely fine. We're just trying to stretch into the shoulders a little bit more. But if you can come into eagle arms and the backs of the forearms together, maybe either the backs of your hands, or if you can get the palms to touch, again, it just depends on how your shoulders feel. You can come into either of these options. The main thing is just listening to what your body's saying and not trying to push it into something it doesn't really want to do. So from here, we can either stay here if that stretch in the shoulders is okay, or if you want to, you can maybe raise the elbows up, looking up towards the fingertips. Just a little back bend here. Again, if you're in this option, you can do the same thing, or you can keep your arms to here. Let's bring those elbows back down. If you've chosen the option, let's separate those arms again, bring those shoulder blades back. Oh, I felt a bit stretched. We'll do the other side now, so let's bring your left, do the wrong way around, left arm underneath your right arm. I get muddled up. So again, you might find it different on one side, so if you do need to come into that big hug option, you can do that. Backs of your forearms or the palms to touch. And again, if it does feel adequately stretched here, stay here, or you can bring the elbows up. And again, a little back bend if that suits. But yeah, if you find that your breath is becoming a little bit more stilted, you may just want to bring the elbows down because we don't want to overstretch. And then slowly bringing those elbows down, bring those arms out. Nice cactus arms again. And then very gently bring those arms down, just roll in those shoulders to see how that feels. Roll them backwards and forwards. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to come to all fours now. So moving everything out of the way of your mat. Make sure the hands are underneath your shoulders. Fingers are really nicely spread. So we're trying to make sure that we're engaging the index finger and your thumb into the floor more, just to protect the wrists. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips. Gentle cat-cow is a nice way to get the spine moving. So let's drop the belly down, maybe take a breath in, bring the head up, and then arching away, breathing out. Just doing a few of these in your own time. And then arching away. Sometimes it's nice just to stay in one position if you feel that's a really nice stretch across the belly. Or if you're arching away, nice stretch across the shoulders and your back. If you want to stay there for a little bit longer, that's absolutely fine. Have a bit of a play with it. It's all about listening to what your body's saying and whether it needs to stay in a particular position. So sometimes it's nice just to move in a way that feels right. Let's do one last breath in, one last breath out, and then come into a nice neutral spine. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of hip opening now. So we're going to bring your right leg out to the side. Okay, so don't worry too much if you can only bring it to there, that's absolutely fine. We're going to do some very gentle rocking backwards and forwards. So dropping your bottom down towards your heel and then bringing the weight forward. Just exploring how that feels into your hips. Wonderful. One more back. Coming back up. Wonderful. Let's bring this right leg through in between your hands into a nice low lunge. Make sure your front foot and your back knee are about hip width apart. It just makes it easier for balancing. So really make sure the knee is above your ankle as well, so you're not overshooting, so it protects your knee. If you need anything underneath that back knee, you can just fold your mat up or just put a blanket underneath that. Pushing down with that front foot, let's come into a little back bend. Bring the arms up, let's sweep them up and over. See if you can drop into that hip a little bit more. Hands into your heart center. Do a little twist now to the right. So you can either just twist the chest round, or you can hook your left elbow onto the inside or the outside of that knee. Push the palms together to get a really nice strong twist. Again, just be guided by how that feels for you. Back to center, let's frame that front foot. Bring both our knees back together, taking the time. Maybe move the hips a little bit from side to side. do the other side. So let's bring the left leg out to the side. Again, noticing it feels different one way than the other. Again, just dropping the bottom down towards that heel, rocking forward. One more forward. And then coming back to neutral. Just bring the left foot through between your hands. Little back bend here. Bring the arms up and over. Hand into your heart centre. Again, a little twist to the left, or hook your right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Push the palms together to get a really lovely twist. And again, just noticing where you're feeling that. Hands back, framing that front foot. Just bring both our knees back in line, and then bring the knees nice and wide, toes together, come into a pose of a child. Just allow the head to drop down towards those fingertips. Just give yourself a couple of moments just to cool down. And very gently come back onto all fours, knees back underneath your hips, curl your toes under. We're going to come into a downward dog. Take your time. Bring those bottoms up towards the ceiling. So pedal out those feet, lowering one heel down and then the other. Come into a little bit of stillness. Make sure those fingertips are nicely glued into your mat so you're not sliding. Let the head just drop. Wonderful. So we're going to very gently walk your feet to join your hands. Come into a forward fold. Just take your time. Let's bring your feet nice and wide. A little bend in the knees just to protect your back. Let's swish those fingertips from side to side. Maybe even bend your elbows and bring your thumbs into your elbow creases. Just let yourself just hang here. Nice ragdoll position. Fingertips back down. Let's heel toe those feet together. Maybe to about hip width apart. Put a little bend in the knees. Slowly roll yourself up to standing. Okay, so we're going to come into a little back bend here. So bring the arms up, a little bend in the knees to protect your spine. Come into a forward fold, fingertips down. So you're going to slide the hands up to your knees, reach forward with that head, nice flat back. Fingertips back down. We're going to bring your right and left leg back, coming into a warrior one. So toes, heels down to about 45 degrees, bending that left knee. Bring the arms up and over, gentle back bend. Let's bring the arms behind your back, interlocking them, palms up. Let's draw those fingertips down towards your bottom, opening up your chest. So we're going to come into our humble warrior now, so bring the weight forward towards that left knee, reaching forward with the head, and maybe if you can, drop the head on the inside of that left knee. If you want to, you've also got the option of bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. If your shoulder's feeling that's okay for you. Just release those hands. Now we're going to bring them on the floor. We're going to bring them a little bit further forward from that left leg. So we're going to come into a standing split. So roll the weight forward into that left leg. Bring the right leg up towards the ceiling. Again, use those hands on the floor. Make sure the hands are underneath your shoulders. If you have them nearer your feet, it's more likely to bring yourself a little bit off balance. So we're going to take a big step back now with your right foot. We're coming into a lunge. So it's just the toes only with the heels off the floor. Bend into that left leg. Bring the arms up. So again, we're balancing here. So just be really mindful. Make sure the feet are about hip width apart. Bring the arms into cactus arms. So from here we're going to come into our eagle arms again. So we're going to bring the right arm underneath your left. Into our eagle arms. Big hug if you can manage that. So maybe bring the arms up into a little back bend. Release those arms down, bring the hands down onto the floor, framing that front foot. Just bring that back heel down, 45 degrees, opening up into warrior two. Take a few moments to get your alignment correct. So make sure the heel of that front foot is just cutting through the arch of your back foot. Make sure you can see a big toe out the front of that knee, so you're nice and protective of that knee. Chest nice and open, maybe bring the shoulder blades back. So let's bring your left palm to face inwards. We're going to bring your right hand to join your left. Let's slide that right arm down the left arm. Just bring it across your chest into a little back bend, sliding your right arm down your left arm. Just bring that lovely reverse warrior. Back into warrior two. So we're going to straighten our left leg now. Let's push the hips to the right. Triangle. Just taking your time. The main thing is we're trying to stay a nice 2D shape. So if you do find that your shoulder's coming forward here, just bring that leg up a little bit further up the arm, whichever feels right. Let's bring this right arm down towards your left. If you can, either grab hold of your ankle or your foot, turn your back heel around so it's the same direction, pyramid pose. Nice, stretching both of those legs. So bring the right knee down. Keep that left leg straight, half split. Just roll the weight forward. Back toes curled under. Lunge and then step the back foot to join your front. Forward fold it. Sweep the arms up and over and then back into your heart centre. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe pedal out those feet if you need to. Okay. Do the same on the second side. I'm just going to turn around this way, connecting in to the earth beneath. Bring the arms up, gentle back bend. Forward fold, fingertips down to the floor. Again, make a little bend in the knees if you need to. Slide the hands up to your knees, flat back. Fingertips back down. So this time we're going to come into our warrior one with the left side. So left foot comes down 45 degrees, little bend in the right knee. Sweep the arms up and over. Really drop into that hip. Sweep the arms behind our back. Roll those shoulders back and down. So we're coming to our humble warrior now, so bring the weight forward towards that right knee. So you can either reach forward or drop the head on the inside of the knee. Hands can rest on your bum, or you can bring them up towards the ceiling. See how that feels for you. Just release those hands, bring the hands down onto the floor, just a little bit further forward from your foot. Bring the weight to the right foot. Let's come into a standing split. Fingertips onto the floor. Going to take a big step back with your left foot. Toes down, heels off the floor. Feet about hip width apart for balance. Let's sweep the arms back up and over into a high lunge. Cactus arms. Going to come into those eagle arms now, so the left arm underneath your right. You can come into here if those shoulders don't allow. Staying here or coming into a back bend. Bring those arms back down, let's frame that front foot. Back heel down, 45 degrees, and then we're going to open up into warrior two. So again, just checking your alignment. Shoulders back and down, really feel that strength in your arms. Turn that palm to face forward. Bring your left arm to join your right. So slide your left arm down, your right arm across your chest, all the way across your body, bringing the left arm onto your back leg, sweeping the right arm over into reverse. Back into warrior two. So we're going to straighten the right leg, push the hips to the left, coming into your triangle. So again, just be mindful of that left shoulder coming back. If it's coming forward, just raise your leg, your hand up the leg. Let's bring that left arm to join your right. Either grabbing hold of your ankle, your calf, or the floor if you can manage it, turning Your left toes facing the same direction as your right. A nice pyramid pose. Bring your left knee down. Flatten that foot, straighten your right leg into a half split. Just roll the weight forward. Curl the back toes under. Both feet back together at the top of the mat. Bring the arms up and over. Taking a couple of minutes here. Sweep the arms up, gentle back bend. Forward fold, fingertips down. Plant the hands onto the floor. Let's step both our feet back into a downward dog, taking your time. Slowly bringing those knees down onto the floor. Let's bring your bottom out to the side. Stretch those legs out in front of us. I'm going to close up our hips now, so we're going to just very gently roll onto our bottoms, onto our back, sorry. I'm going to draw the knees in towards your chest. Again, just roll those knees around. We're going to bring our left foot down towards the floor. So bring it into the middle of your mat. And we're going to cross your right thigh over your left. So it's imagine you're sitting in a chair with your legs crossed. So your bottom leg is your left leg. So what we're going to do is just very gently rock those knees from side to side. Making those rocks bigger each time we do it. Until finally we allow both of those knees to drop over to the left. Nice twist here, so just be really careful how it feels on your lower back. We're going to get a good stretch on the outside of that right leg. And just staying here for a few breaths. And slowly bring them back to centre. So unravel those legs, draw those knees in towards your chest. And do the same on the other side. So bring that little right foot down just into the middle of your mat. Cross your left thigh over your right. Imagine you're sitting in a chair with your legs crossed over. So rocking side to side. Just make those rocks bigger each time you go. And then finally allow both of those knees to drop over to the right. Again, just be really careful how it feels on your back. If it's too much of a pull, just ease them a little bit more back to centre. Again, just let the breath settle, let your heart rate settle. Bring them back to centre. Let's draw both of those knees in towards your chest. Maybe bring the nose up to join those knees. Give yourself a nice big hook. And let everything release down. So the head down, stretch those legs away, coming into Shavasana. Palms of the hands facing upwards, just let those feet drop out to the side. Staying here just for a few breaths. Just letting your breath just settle down into its own natural rhythm, just being aware of how your body feels. Just bring in a little bit of movement now, so just starting to wiggle the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes. Maybe gently circling your ankles, your wrists. Maybe giving yourself a nice stretch, bring the arms above your head, just push those heels away. Maybe stretching those toes. And draw the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. And again, if you need to rock a little bit from side to side, that's absolutely fine. We're going to slowly ease ourselves up into whatever comfortable position suits you. So either rocking up or just rolling onto one side, very gently coming into a lovely upright position. And just keeping the eyes shut for a few moments. Again, just becoming aware of your body, how it feels. Inviting you now to connect your fingers to the earth beside you. Take a nice deep breath in. Let's bring those arms above our head in prayer. Bring the hands down, just resting the thumbs on the breastbone, the head down towards its fingertips. Just offering your body gratitude for what it's achieved today, your breath, just for allowing you to get there. Thank you as always for joining me. Namaste. Looking forward to seeing you again in the future for more practices. If you want to sign up to my YouTube channel, feel free. It's Totally Holistic Health, and I'll see you soon.